Brandon here with Alan Raleigh, and we're here for 1984-85 girls basketball. And of course, the Norristown Eagles here on their home court at Norristown Area High School, tonight taking on the girls from Bishop Kenrick. It should be a fantastic basketball game. We spoke with assistant coach Bill Werkheiser from the Norristown High squad just previous to the beginning of this ball game, and he said the Norristown Eagles this year are an untried squad. This is their first ball game of the year, and Bill really doesn't know what they have this year. The Kenrick squad, on the other hand, they've played 5 games already. They're 3-2. All right, folks, we're ready for the first tap of the 1984-85 basketball season for the Norristown girls. We'll get you those starters as soon as possible. There's the tap. It's won by Bishop Kenrick, taken by Dana DeLuzio. She goes down court. Immediately the ball is stolen away, and a backup court for Norristown High. Almost a travel there. That's number 31, Kathy Panos. Dishes off to number 22, Cassie Davis. Davis looks to the outside, goes to Christy Chesnick. They go back outside. Chesnick has the ball batted away by number 23 for Bishop Kenrick, Sue Quinn. Also out there, number 15, Carrie Nawadney. Number 25, Dana DeLuzio. Number 24, Dorothy O'Malley. And number 41, for Bishop Kenrick, Trish Dollarton. Shot from the outside from the Eagles. That's an air ball put up by number 31 for Norristown, Kathy Panos. And the Knights come back up court. Nawadney goes down low. The shot's up. There's a foul on the play. That time it was number 41, Trish Dollarton, going up for Norristown High. And of course, Norristown High this year, Alan, coached by Stan Johnson, and the new assistant, Bill Werkheiser. Surely nice to have a man with all that basketball experience, the assistant, on your bench.
That's true, and of course, Bill Werkheiser also, when the guys take the court here at Norristown, jumps on this side of the booth, and he joins us doing the commentary for us.
And we'll look forward to that. Of course, this is a 2-shot situation for Trish Dollarton. We've just begun this game, folks. We're have 7:22 remaining in the first quarter. No score yet in the ball game. The Lady Knights of Bishop Kenrick and the Lady Eagles of Norristown High.
And Jeff, of course, a new floor here at Norristown. They took up the old one that had been here since the school was built in '73. Put down a nice, gorgeous-looking wood floor. It's really, this is how basketball should be played.
I'll tell you, Al, I had not seen this floor. We've got a jump ball. I had not seen this floor. I haven't been around here in the Norristown High Athletic Wing for some time, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Really a nice-looking gym hardwood floor. For the jump ball, tip won by Kathy Panos. She goes outside to number 33 for the Eagles, Sharon Davis. Davis quick with the shot, too hard off the glass. Jill Spielhofer with the rebound. She has the ball slammed back in her face by number 24 of Bishop Kenrick, Dorothy O'Malley. And Spielhofer, the tallest girl out there for Norristown High, only at 5'10", Alan. That time steal by Sharon Davis. Davis up the right side. Feeds the middle to Cassie Davis. She has the ball stripped away by Dana DeLuzio. DeLuzio up the right side. She's got the open wing. She's stopped, and there's an injury on the court. And DeLuzio gripping her right knee, obviously in some pain here. We can see the grimace on her face. She's falling right here in front of us. But DeLuzio pressing the ball up court very, very hard, and she was just tied up by, I believe it was Sharon Davis. Okay, for the jump ball, number 22, Cassie Davis and Dana DeLuzio. And the tap goes to Norristown High's Panos, stripped away by number 15, Carrie Nawadney, but right back to the Eagles. Oh, wide open, Chesnick, the turnaround, air ball, and I'll tell you, folks, I hate to say it, but this is what you see a lot in girls basketball, is a lot of back and forth with very little scoring, and there's certainly been no scoring in this ball game. We've got 6:25 left to go here in the first quarter. 0-0. Another air ball. Norristown comes down with the board. That's Cassie Davis. She's up the far side of the court, rushes the ball down court. Alan, they've got to slow the ball down. They're just running and gunning, and this time a foul's called on number 25, Dana DeLuzio.
Well, I think both teams came out for this ball game a little keyed up. Of course, this is a borough rivalry. No matter what anyone says, Kenrick and Norristown always go at each other, and I think you're right. They just have to slow things down a little bit and decrease the tempo of this ball game, and I think you'll see a little more controlled game as we go on here in the first quarter. And it'll help both teams because their shooting is off.
Coach Paul Makovsky and assistant Joe Matazzo there for Bishop Kenrick were up just a few moments ago screaming at their girls to get things under control. First point of the ball game goes to number 22, Cassie Davis for the Eagles. She misses the second shot. We're going to have a foul on the rebound, and the foul's going to go against Norristown High. We've got pushing off underneath against Norristown will have the ball thrown in from the near sideline. Nowadney brings the ball up court for Bishop Kenrick. They look to the corner. Back to Nowadney. She goes outside of the Deluzio. Nowadney's going to put the shot up. Oh, off the rim, no good. Follows up her own rebound. Nice play that time by Curry Nowadney to get the ball outside the number 23, Sue Quinn.
Excellent hustle that time by Nowadney. As you said, she knew she missed a shot as she put it up, but she kept her eyes on the rebound and followed it through and got it back out there.
And as a result, Bishop Kenrick will have the ball from the far sideline. 1-0 ball game, folks. I feel like we're doing a baseball game.
Well, it's a defensive struggle, Jeff.
A paramount of defense, you're right. Nowadney goes to the left, comes back outside. There's the shot from the outside. No good off the front of the rim by Sue Quinn. And Cassie Davis can't believe the call, but it's out of bounds on her. And Bishop Kenrick will retain possession. They come into Quinn. Quinn puts the air ball up. Nice rebound that time by number 24, Dorothy O'Malley. And she's got the first 2 points of the ball game and the first field goal for any team here tonight as Bishop Kenrick goes ahead in this ball game 2-1. Bounce pass, Norristown gets a break there. Goes through to Sharon Davis. Of course, you saw that basket go in, but it was no good. Foul before the shot. I believe called on number 23, Sue Quinn. Cassie Davis will bring the ball in. That time, Sharon Davis should have plopped to the outside. Oh, nice pin pass to Panos. Up and down, though. She got that ball. She had already left her feet, apparently. Came down before she leaped up again. And the officials call up and down. And of course, zone defense here for Norristown. I think that's all you see in girls basketball, really, is zone defense. And Cassie Davis called for a blocking foul. Shoved her hip in there. I'll tell you, we've got two very vocal coaches here tonight. Both Makovsky and Stan Johnson have really great resounding voices. We can hear them quite clearly.
Meanwhile, Bill Werkheiser sitting over there just enjoying this.
I'll tell you.
Relaxed,
Bill,
cool.
I've always said Bill's a man who knows how to enjoy himself. Shot by Nowadney, no good. Rebound, though, by Sue Quinn, and she's got a bucket. So Bishop Kenrick up 4-1 in this ball game. Hey, Christy Chesnick travels with the ball, or was that Cassie Davis who had already had the ball and traveled?
I think it was Cassie Davis that time that was caught traveling.
I looked away for a moment, and soon as that happened, a traveling call.
Very uncooperative of them, wasn't it?
I'll tell you, I can't believe they would do that to me, as dedicated as I am. I'll tell you, Alan, it's interesting. It's about our 5th year doing Norristown High basketball.
That's true, 5 years of this.
Incredible, isn't it?
Hard to believe, and we're still looking to renegotiate that first contract we signed.
I've talked with Barry Spencer, and things are in the works, apparently.
Oh, a little mistake there.
Mistake there on the inbounds pass, and Norristown High will have the ball back again. So that negates the traveling call against Norristown, and the Lady Eagles have got to get some points on the board here. Davis goes to Chesnick. She puts the shot up. Oh, off the back of the rim, follows her own shot. Goes inside, and that time a nice aggressive play by Christy Chesnick. Followed her own shot inside, and on the follow-up, she was obviously fouled. And a timeout called by Bishop Kenrick, and I think it was time for one. With 4:16 left to go in the first quarter, we've got a 4-1 ball game. And of course, this game being played as a prelude to the Norristown High Bishop Kenrick boys basketball game, which will be the highlight and the main attraction of this evening. But it's nice to have the girls play in the evening at 6:30, where it's more convenient for parents and friends and even students, really, to attend, especially on a Friday, than right after school at a 3:30 start or something like that. And you know, the girls like to play before a crowd just like everybody else. You don't like to play to an empty gym.
And it builds excitement heading into the nightcap of the twin bill.
And we've already got you know, as much of a crowd here as I've seen for some boys basketball games in the past several years. So it's nice to see the girls with a crowd at 6:30 in the evening when everybody's still finishing up dinner and getting home from work.
Christy Chesnick at the line here.
And her first free throw is no good.
Distinctive white headband, very easy to tell her out there on the court.
Certainly is.
So I know one number now of all the Norristown players.
Well, you've only got 4 minutes and 16 seconds to learn the rest of them. On, Christy Chesnick gets the second point of the ball game for Norristown, and we've got 4-2 here with 4:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Nowadney and Quinn, obviously the ball handlers for Bishop Kenrick. They go to O'Malley down low on the baseline, and I'll tell you, they really want the ball in the hands of Kerry Nowadney. That's great. She has the toughest name out there, and they keep giving her the ball. Dana DeLuzio goes to the baseline with her shot off the side of the backboard, but she was fouled on the play, so Dana will go to the line.
Dana played last year for Norristown, transferred over the off season, if you will, or after the school year, whatever.
I think that's also true of Meg Losty, now a member of the Bishop Kenrick squad. I believe she attended Norristown High as well.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Number 14 in now for the Eagles, Tracy Keaton in the backcourt.
Well, of course, Meg Losty's sister Claire was a fine guard for the Norristown High squad several years ago. We remember watching Claire play basketball.
And to add to your trivia, she transferred from Bishop Kenrick to play for Norristown. How's that one?
Back and forth with the Losty family, I suppose.
They'll be writing you a letter about that. Address it, care of Norristown School District. Of course, they're bringing you this ball game.
And we've got a jump ball, Jill Spielhofer. Sorry about that, Jill. And number 41, Trish Dollarton for Bishop Kenrick. And Jill wins the tap, goes to Keaton, stripped right away, and another jump ball. Boy, I'll tell you, these girls' games are just a thrill a minute, aren't they, Al?
4-2, 3:43 left here in the opening quarter.
Well, you can't expect the level of play that you do in a boys' basketball game, obviously. And, oh, this time Christy Chesnick almost comes away, but Tracy Keaton picks up the ball. Oh, layup won't go. Chesnick with the board, and the basket's good. And Christy Chesnick with the first field goal of the game for Norristown High to tie this ball game up at 4 apiece.
But credit that bucket to the hustle of Tracy Keaton that time, who played good defense, came up with the steal, missed her initial shot, but Chesnick right there to pop it through.
This time, Sharon Davis had Keaton on the lead. She waits too long to get it to her, though, and Bishop Kenrick able to fall back into their zone defense. Chesnick with the shot, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound taken by Sharon Davis. Won't go for Davis. Panos with the rebound. Back outside to Keaton. Keaton's shot won't go. Offense called on the play, and Bishop Kenrick will take control. With 2:51 left to go in the first quarter, Norristown and Bishop Kenrick tied at 4. Nowadney goes down the left side. Back out to Dana DeLuzio. DeLuzio looking for some help. Over to Nowadney. Oh, nice shot from the outside from Nowadney as she nails that bucket. And her first baskets of the game make it 6-4 Kenrick. And Bishop Kenrick with the full court press, and Norristown able to beat it, bring the ball up past the midcourt line. Davis to Spielhofer. Spielhofer crushes inside. They're going to call a blocking foul on number 24, Dorothy O'Malley. Well, it's been a very tightly contested ball game so far. Both teams back and forth, up and down the court. We've had a fair amount of jump balls already here in the first quarter. And our score, as I mentioned, is 6-4 Bishop Kenrick. Panos takes the inbound pass away from Dana DeLuzio. She's triple teamed, and the ball stripped away by DeLuzio. DeLuzio's got Quinn on the fast break. Nice pass back to DeLuzio. The basket's good. Good ball handling that time by the Bishop Kenrick Lady Knights. And Dana DeLuzio, credit her with the bucket. Score 8-4. Jump ball, and there's aggressive play by Bishop Kenrick. I'll tell you, folks, I'm impressed by the way the Bishop Kenrick girls are playing right now, and I'd have to say that Norristown is lackluster at best. Timeout called by Stan Johnson, head coach for the Norristown Eagles. We've got 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Our score, 8-4. And out there on the floor, the Norristown High JV cheerleaders. Some of you who saw the Norristown High Thanksgiving Day football game against Upper Merion broadcast on your Norristown High cable channel will remember the introduction of the cheerleaders on our pregame show. Of course, these are the JV cheerleaders. You also met the varsity cheerleaders. And they are here as well this evening to cheer on the Norristown High girls basketball team. And I'm sure they'll stay around for the boys basketball game, which will follow immediately after this ball game. And it's good to see the cheerleaders out for the girls contest as well. Folks tend to think of the boys sport as being the one that's important, so to speak, but the girls play just as hard and practice and train just as hard as the guys, and they deserve the support here of both the fans and the cheerleaders, so it's encouraging to see that. The jump ball for Norristown High, it'll be Christy Chesnick. For Bishop Kenrick, Sue Quinn. And we had an encroachment on the jump ball. Dana DeLuzio into the circle early. And Norristown High, even though they had won the tap, will bring the ball from the near sideline. Panos and Keaton. Keaton goes down low to Spielhofer, can't control the pass. Taken away by Nawadney. She goes down court. They tip, but nobody there. Kathy Panos runs it down for Norristown. Tries to save it, and she does. Taken by Sharon Davis. Davis knocks the ball out of bounds, and it's off Curry Nawadney, number 15. Nawadney can't believe it, but Norristown High will bring the ball in from just in front of the Bishop Kenrick bench. .141 left to go in the first quarter, 8-4, Bishop Kenrick. Ahead here in this first quarter of play in the first ball game of the season for the Norristown High girls basketball team. Keaton double dribble. Now I would have to say that the official, the official made the call obviously right in front of us, but perhaps there was some contact there by a Bishop Kenrick defender. The official loses his whistle there for a moment. And the Lady Knights will bring the ball up court. Norristown looks like in a 1-2-2 zone. I don't have Bill Werkheiser here to tell me for sure. Oh, nice play that time by Quinn to get the ball out to O'Malley. Her shot won't go, and Sharon Davis rips down the board. Davis pushes the ball up court, goes in for the layup too hard. Rebound by Panos. Foul on the rebound. That's going to go against number 24, O'Malley, for Bishop Kenrick. It's a heck of a time that time by Sharon Davis. I think she should have pulled up a little bit, though, on pushing the ball down court. And Kathy Panos, of course, went up for the rebound, got the rebound, but she was fouled on the play. We'll have a substitution now. Into the ball game, number 42 for Bishop Kenrick, Missy Mell, and Dorothy O'Malley with at least 2 personal fouls on her will take a seat on the bench. So Panos at the line, shooting 1 and 1. And the first one's good for Panos. Her first tally of the ball game, and of course now she'll get the bonus shot. And Panos nails 2 free throws, and that's good to see. You like to get those freebies whenever you can. So make it 8-6 now. Bishop Kenrick still ahead with 1:06 left to go in the first quarter. They go inside this time. The shot by Dollarton won't go. And Davis travels with the ball. So some good rebounding work, but some mental mistakes out there in the first quarter, and I think you've got to expect that. You've got a very young team for Norristown. You've got some sophomores out there. Got some inexperience on the court, and that time a nice play by Sue Quinn. Give her a bucket and make the score 10-6. The full court press, they go to Keaton. Keaton's got some help up court. She ought to pass the ball. The ball's knocked up to Panos. Panos goes to Chesnick. Chesnick with the shot won't go. Rebound taken by Dollarton. Hits the ground, doesn't travel, has the ball stolen away by Davis. Davis' shot doesn't go, but she's fouled by Trish Dollarton while Dollarton lies on the ground. Very interesting play, folks, to say the least. And with 36 seconds left to go in the first quarter, our score 10-6 still. Bishop Kenrick ahead by 4. And Sharon Davis the line with a chance to narrow that lead to 2. Davis will be shooting 2. First shot off the front of the rim, no good. And the second shot unsuccessful. Panos with the rebound, gets it back. Nice play that time by Kathy Panos. Gets the rebound off the missed free throw and makes a bucket out of it under extreme pressure from the Bishop Kenrick defense. So with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the Eagles down by 2. And Coach Paul Makovsky wants his girls to slow the ball down and take the last shot of the first quarter. And Coach Makovsky coming from Beaver College coaching. They go down low with 5 seconds. The shot's up, won't go. Rebound taken by Keaton. 2-1. That's the end of the first quarter. No foul on the play. So after 1 quarter of play, make it Bishop Kenrick 10, Norristown 8. And once again at midcourt, the Norristown High cheerleaders, junior varsity. I'd like to remind you, I'm Jeff Brandon, along with Alan Raleigh. This game being filmed by the Norristown Area School District. Mr. Sam Galbraith doing our camera work and production and direction work tonight. We'd like to thank Sam for all his help. And of course, Mr. Tony Koya, the director of the Communications Center for Norristown High School, who coordinates all of these activities. And we'll put 8 more minutes back on the board for our second quarter of play. Of course, girls basketball in high school, you play 4 8-minute quarters. And there's the buzzer to signal the beginning of the second quarter, and we'll have the girls back onto the floor momentarily. And Alan, you've been kind of silent lately. I've been carrying this analysis myself. I think it's time for you to jump in here, Alan, for perhaps some play-by-play. How about that?
Well, I guess my contract does call for it, but you have done an outstanding job.
I'd have to agree with you, but
the second half of the first quarter, although that sounds strange, did get a little better.
I'll tell you, Kathy Panos made 2 very, very nice plays to get 4 points on the board and half the Norristown scoring. And there's another shot by Panos just at the end of that first quarter. I'll tell you, Panos really played aggressive basketball, got a nice basket from underneath. We're going to go the other way, pushing foul that time against Norristown.
Matter of fact, it was called on number 31, Kathy Panos. We'll run you down the numbers of the players in just a couple of moments. Right now, number 23, Sue Quinn, going to the line for the Knights. Okay, Sue Quinn nails the first one. Kenrick up 11-8. Early stages of the second quarter. And Sue Quinn, the top scorer in this ball game, already 5 points for Bishop Kenrick. Norristown cheerleaders here tonight. They're over on the other stands, actually. All right, the Eagles are going to be inbounding the ball. Tracy Keaton going to be the trigger. I was going to say trigger man, but I guess that's not too appropriate.
That's like female girls sports.
Yes.
I know all about that.
Trigger woman, we'll call her. I'll tell you, since Tracy Keaton has come into the ball game, Norristown has played much better. She's added a lot on the defensive end, and she's also helped organize things on the break. That time, her pass inside, picked off. It's loose on the ground. Davis coming up. That's number 33 this time. Keaton now on the left side of the key, swings it down in the court of the Chesnick, looking for someone open, goes back out to Keaton. Keaton driving to the lane, spins, puts it up, no good. Bounced around, and finally Kenrick coming down with it. DeLuzio with the ball. Dana DeLuzio up to, let's see, that is Sue Quinn.
Nawadney.
Correction, Carrie Nawadney. Didn't catch the number that time, but that's why I've got Jeff Brandon here, of course, as usual, to make me look good. Right, Jeff?
That's right, Al.
We're going to have a jump ball, I believe, on this one. It's going to be Chesnick, Christy Chesnick, number 10 for Norristown, and number 41 for Bishop Kenrick, Trish Dowlerton. Dowlerton, the tallest player out there. She wins the tap, and it goes right into the Eagles' hands. Coming up with it that time, Kathy Panos. She goes right in all the way for the easy 2. So Kathy Panos now has 6 points in that game.
Or this game.
Or this game, for that matter. Look, a little rusty, you know. You come off doing a lot of football. You got to jump back into the hoop scene. It's tough.
It's been about 10 months.
Oh, nice shot from the outside. Beautiful touch that time.
Missy Mel.
her first bucket of the evening. DeLuzio trying to draw the charge that time. Her attempt no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Let's see who they're going to award this one to. It's going to be the Eagles ball. And they get the ball out to Jill Spielhofer, who's been very quiet this evening.
Surprisingly so. I think she's the tallest person out there.
And she's also one of the
more experienced.
Appears to be, more experienced, and also seems to be, as the season starts here, aiming to be one of the top Eagles scorers.
Did we mention that Kim Mitchell, number 20, into the ball game for Norristown?
That time Kenrick tried to save it, but just went over the line. Number 42, Missy Mel, that time was caught with her foot going over the white line there. Keaton inbounding it once again. Lofts it off to Chesnick. Chesnick can't control it. Keaton alertly gets there, and she gets tied up by Trish Dallerton. There have been a lot of jump balls here, Jeff.
A very interesting point. I think it has to do with the defense that both teams are playing, and
Dana DeLuzio is going up now for the tap. She wins it, and Kenrick coming up with it. Sue Quinn gets it up court now. Nawadney pops from outside off the backside of the rim, coming down with it for Norristown. Let's see, that is number 14, Tracy Keaton. Keaton being hounded by Nawadney. She stops, looks for some help. Ball's bounced around. It's on the floor. Finally, Panos coming up with it. Turnaround. No good. She gets her own rebound, though. Good hustle by Panos. Keaton takes it to the top of the key. Kenrick in a 2-3 zone. They swing out to the right flank. The Panos inside the Spielhofer. Turnaround off the rim. Panos right there once again with another rebound. 3 consecutive rebounds for Kathy Panos. This time her pass to Keaton. Picked off by Nawadney, who's going in for the layup. Oh, and she is fouled by Keaton. A vicious one at that, too.
Hey, you don't like to see that. I mean, obviously just Keaton playing defense, but you don't want to rip that girl around the neck like that. That's not a good foul. I mean, if you're going to foul somebody intentionally, you don't want to hurt them. Or, I mean, obviously it wasn't intentional. I don't want to get that impression at all, but that was just a little bit of a dangerous foul that time. Absolutely.
Keaton going and taking a seat on the bench. Cassie Davis, number 22, checking back in. So we have Cassie Davis, number 22, number 31, Kathy Panos, number 33, Sharon Davis, number 20, Kim Mitchell, and number 10, Christy Chesnick in there for the Norristown Eagles. And the second one, no good there.
We've got 2 more than I've got. Make the last basket. Couldn't tell you. Norristown's right, but too short here.
Here we go, another jump ball. This one won by Kenrick. Sue Quinn popping it. And Cassie Davis coming down with the rebound. She's leading the break for the Eagles up the right side of the court. Davis in some trouble now. Goes back to Sharon Davis, yes. I was trying to get my first names correct there. Hey, guess what? We're going to have another jump ball here, Jeff.
That time, Kathy Panos got the initial rebound, threw the ball back up off the heel of the rim, and Sharon Davis came away with it, and as you say, one more jump ball.
DeLuzio wins it, but it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Eagles ball. Cassie Davis inbounding it. 4:55 left to go here in the second quarter. 15-10 ball game. Eagles have been outscored by a 5-2 count here in the second frame so far. And they're having a tough time penetrating Kenrick's defense. They haven't been able to get the ball down low. Spielhofer or Chesnick when they've been in there.
That time, quick hands by Kerry Nawadney, and she gets the feed up court. The easy layup, and that was all of Kerry Nawadney. She stuck that quick hand in there, tapped the ball away, and then broke down court and took the quick feed.
And she has 5 points now in the game. Nawadney on the floor. She ties up, or Kathy Panos actually ties up Nawadney when she dove for the ball.
Looked like women's wrestling out there grabbing her leg.
I don't think they're going to appreciate that. Kathy Panos has a couple inches on Nowadney. She wins it easily, but it goes right into the hands of one of the Kenrick players. Nowadney finally coming up with the loose ball. Gives it to Dallerton, and Nowadney will lead the offense now for BK. 4 minutes exactly left here in the second quarter. 17-10, Bishop Kenrick lead here as Norristown's offense has not been able to get on track throughout the contest. That one a little too hard off the side of the rim. We've got to fight for it down in the paint. Let's see what way it's going to go.
I'll tell you, I can't get over how great this floor looks.
This is great. This is
after you know going to high school here with that rubber, whatever the heck it was, floor, which was warped and everything else. It's really nice to see this gorgeous hardwood floor.
Well, I cannot remember for the life of me the substance that was on here before. But with the artificial surfaces, the one thing I think that you miss in a gymnasium of this size, you don't get the bounce of the ball and the squeaking of the sneakers. And that to me makes basketball even better, especially when you're here on the sidelines calling it. You can hear what's going on. Plus, as anyone can see if you're watching the picture, it is so bright in the Norristown Gymnasium.
And Kim Mitchell at the line for the Eagles.
And she nails them. So it's 17-12 now. Norristown back within 5 thanks to those 2 free throws, courtesy of Kim Mitchell. Nowadney swings it over now to the right side. That was a lucky shot.
You know, I was just ready to criticize Dana DeLuzio for throwing that ball up, but she was triple teamed, drew the foul, and made the basket, which I find absolutely incredible under the circumstances.
Well, Jeff?
Well, Jeff? Well, you doing your Ronald Reagan already?
No. And DeLuzio's attempt for a three-pointer, no good there. Good hustle as she tries to get the ball back, but in the process she fouls Christy Chesnick.
I tell you, these girls are playing for keeps, aren't they? They're not playing games out there.
I'll tell you, the shooting may be miserable, but the hustle is there for both sides. And this is tough. As you said earlier in the game, this is Norristown's first outing of the season. Meanwhile, Kenrick has 5 games under their belt already. Both teams are trying to turn around losing programs from the 83-84 season.
I don't think Stan Johnson wants to see this Kenrick lead get any larger. It's already 7 points, and in a girls' basketball game, that's a big lead.
Especially when you're shooting as cold as ice there. Oh, good. Nice play that time by Christy Chesnick. She drew the charge, even though her feet were moving just a little bit, but it looked good. You don't agree?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, the officials are always right. Isn't that what they tell us before every game? The officials are always right. Jeff, Allen, don't criticize the officials.
That's in the contract. 3:14 left to go here in the first half. It's 19-12, the 7-point lead, the biggest Kenrick has had all evening. Now they get it down to Dallerton. Dallerton can't catch up to it, and good defensive hustle that time by Cassie Davis, who breaks up that throw.
Did that look like a double dribble to you back down here in the left corner? Didn't she stop?
It was a double dribble, but
keep the ball and then start again.
But I think both officials were screened out of the play that time because the action was down in the corner in front of us.
Okay.
They go inside now to Dallerton. She puts it up, and she is called for traveling. Good defense there by Kim Mitchell. She held her ground, didn't give an inch. Cassie Davis bringing the ball up now for the Eagles. Kenrick quick retreating on defense and just fall into that zone. They played it all throughout this ball game so far.
I don't think we're going to see any change either unless things get drastic.
Well, Kenrick's doing a smart thing here. They're forcing the Eagles. They're saying, go ahead, you have the outside shot, you're welcome to take it. Norristown has not been able to hit the net yet. And they don't have that, it appears they don't have that dominating inside player they can get to that can make the power move.
Have you noticed that John Makovsky is slowly losing his clothes over there? He started with a jacket and tie, I believe. Then he had the sweater on. Now the tie's gone, the jacket's gone, and the sweater is gone.
However,
I hope he makes it through the ball game. We may have to edit this.
He gets into it. Keaton shot, ball short that time. Kenrick wide open. Here comes Nowadney. Easy layup, and she nails it. Nice play that time by Carrie Nowadney. Took that pass and just went in for the easy bucket. She has 7 now on the evening, and I think you have to credit that one to Sue Quinn, I believe. Came down with the ball, found wide open Nowadney on the left flank, and just nailed it to her. They go inside now to Sharon Davis. Finally, Kim Mitchell coming up with it, and Mitchell, good second effort, pops it through.
That was a walk.
That was what?
That was a walk.
I didn't see it. It's early. It's still early in the season. Norristown down 21-14 here. Minute 34 left in the opening half.
Well, you have to realize that it's not only our first game and Norristown's first game, it's early in the season for the officials as well. They've got to get into the flow of the season also.
Very true.
So, it's easy for us to criticize, but we're not out there. We don't have to make the calls.
Keaton that time trying to come up with the steal. Couldn't. Goes out of bounds, but she does successfully break up the play. Nowodny inbounds it now to DeLuzio. Back to Nowodny. She has Quinn here on the right side. Instead goes to DeLuzio. Her shot is blocked by Chesnick. Turnaround as she gets her own block shot back in possession, and she gets the turnaround jumper. Good second and third effort that time by DeLuzio. Eagles save that one. It was close, boy. Nice hustle by Cassie Davis. She was moving as she was going over that line trying to save it in midair. 49 seconds left to go here. 23-14, biggest Kenrick lead. Mitchell decides to pull up and take it. She misses. It comes right into the hands of Kenrick.
I tell you, I'm amazed at the lack of scoring potential that Norristown High has. They've always had somebody traveling called on the play against Nowodny, but they've always had somebody who could take control, whether it was the Thea Ellis or
there was Mary
Washington.
Hall the last couple years, right?
Oh.
Michelle Washington,
Thea Ellis.
Bill Werkheiser, who's now an assistant coach for the women's club, has been working with the club primarily on their offense. And it's tough. They've only had a few weeks really together to work on it. Kenrick coming up with it. And Chesnick, a nice block that time. She is whistled for the foul, though.
My goodness, that time Nowodny got the quick outlet pass to to Sue Quinn. But Chesnick really flew back on defense. Now, I like that foul better than I did the one that we saw earlier against Keaton, I believe it was. Because Chesnick went up with a position from power. She didn't come from behind and rip Quinn down. She went up with the block, and she had the block, and there was no foul until that contact after the block, really.
And Meg Lostein, number 20, checking in for Bishop Kenrick. And another substitution here. Let's see if we can catch that number. Dana DeLuzio goes to the sidelines. Number 22. See that as Eileen Santillo checking in.
And Quinn makes them both, and I'll tell you, I think the Bishop Kenrick girls taking after their male counterparts and being fine free throw shooters. You always see Bishop Kenrick clubs who drill the free throws from way outside. What was that shot with 12 seconds to go? An 18-foot jumper. They get down to O'Malley. Nice block that time by Chesnick, and then she's fouled in the process.
That's right, number 24, Dorothy O'Malley. She was whistled for the foul. She quick looked up and she just kind of grimaced. She saw there was only 3 seconds left.
I think she's going to incur the wrath of Coach Paul Makovsky. And I think that's what got that grimace there. She realizes you don't foul with 3 seconds to go, and the other club at the far end of the court. That's a cardinal sin. And Chesnick makes it count for Norristown. So since this is a 1-and-1, she'll get the bonus. So that's the end of the first half, and after one half of play, Bishop Kenrick, a very impressive 9-point lead. It's 24-15. Alan and I will be back in just a moment with some thoughts about the first half of play. Okay, we're just about ready to begin our second half of play, and Alan, in the first half, I was quite impressed with the play of the Bishop Kenrick Knights. The girls were really, really on their toes. I was quite impressed.
Well, I think it showed that Bishop Kenrick has 5 games under their belt, where Norristown playing their first game of the season. And I know we were discussing right before we came on the air, the biggest problem with Norristown, they wanted to run up and down the court. Unfortunately, at both ends, they didn't have any end results. And they have to, if they're going to have a running game, it's fine, but it has to be a controlled running game. You just can't do it for the heck of it.
All right, we'll see what Coach Johnson and Coach Werkheiser had to say to the ladies at halftime. They've certainly got to get their offense under control. and Sharon Davis will take the tap for the Eagles.
I would think the biggest thing is right now that someone has to get the hot hand and be able to hit those outside shots, because Kenrick is giving them the outside jumper, but no one has been able to take advantage of it.
I really think Kathy Panos has been the most outstanding player for Norristown here in the ballgame.
And I'll tell you, for Kenrick, so far, Kerry Nawadney has had an absolutely fantastic game as the point guard, popping for 7 points and coming up with numerous key defensive plays.
I'll tell you, Nawadney really is the catalyst of the Kenrick Ball Club. She is a hustler. They go into Spielhofer. She moves inside. Nice move that time by Jill Spielhofer. And I tell you, Alan, I was talking to Ted Every over on the sidelines at halftime, and I mentioned him. I was surprised that Spielhofer was not as much of a factor as I thought she would be. Quinn with a jumper, no good.
Norristown hadn't been able to work the ball inside throughout the first half. That's where she's a low post player. You can see every time Norristown sets up, she is on one side or the other of the paint there along the foul lines and stuff. I really lost track of what I was saying there.
Foul lines and stuff. You mean like the lane? Is that what you're talking about?
I'll tell you. Look, if it was 1st and 10, I could probably handle it. That time picked off by Kenrick, the pass down low, and Nawadney coming up with a 24-17 Kenrick lead. 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Thank you, Alan, and that's Kerry Nawadney, the point guard for Bishop Kenrick. Sue Quinn, cross court to Dana DeLuzio. She's going to come right in front of us to try and save the ball. Right into us. It was nice pass, Dana. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dana, for the ball on our scoring table.
I'll tell you, some people will do anything to get on TV. I'm telling you right now.
And that was a nice play by you, though. I mean, you fielded that ball with such a plum-styled grace.
Well, Werkheiser's been working with me over the summer.
I'll tell you, your ball control has really improved.
I'm going to make a comeback at 24.
Davis that time with the basket won't go. And Sue Quinn. And she's tied up by Cassie Davis. One more jump ball. And of course out there for Norristown, number 22, Cassie Davis, number 31, Kathy Panos, number 10, Christy Chesnick, number 33, Sharon Davis, and Jill Spielhofer, number 23. Oh boy, Spielhofer really took a fall that time as number 24, Dorothy O'Malley, got in her way as Spielhofer tried to take the tap around the right side for the hoop.
Both players got their legs tangled that time, and I think Spielhofer just had her feet go out from under her. She slipped on the surface.
I think she got somebody's limb or something driven into her abdomen. She's a little painful there. Inbounds comes to Chesnick. Little bobble there, but she retains control. They go to Spielhofer right down the middle. Spielhofer pulls up. She's got the shot. Air ball. But Sharon Davis with some fine rebounding on the defense.
And the Eagles are being more patient now. They're trying to work the ball inside, and they made a good effort at trying to get to Spielhofer.
Absolutely. We've got a blocking foul called against Bishop Kenrick.
Sharon Davis screaming down low that she was wide open, which she was, but no one spotted her.
And you can tell your teammates, okay, I was wide open. And Coach Paul Makovsky calls a quick timeout, and he's a little bit angry at one of the officials out here tonight.
Well, I believe that he felt that a foul should have been called when there was a collision between Spielhofer and who was that?
O'Malley?
Yes, Dorothy O'Malley. And I think that's what he's putting his 2 cents in right now.
And I'm looking over there on the far sideline to the Norristown huddle. I don't know if that's on your screen right now, folks, but Bill Werkheiser was letting Sharon Davis know that, you're a team, and okay, you were open, but, you're going to miss the pass sometimes too. And, let's play as a team. Let's be friends and not be enemies. You've got to beat the other team. Don't try and beat yourselves.
That's right. Bill Werkheiser, every team that he ever coached here on the guys' side, they always played as a team, and that unity was so apparent, and I think that's where he's going to lend quite a lot to the girls' squad now, because over the last few years, even in the late 70s, when the Eagles were one of the powerhouse teams in suburban one-leg play, there were at times quite a few rifts and a little bit of dissension among various groups and factors on the team. Very subtly put, don't you think?
That was nice.
Tiptoed my way through that.
Rifts, that's nice. They come into Spielhofer. Spielhofer goes down low to Cassie Davis. Davis triple team, dishes off to Chesnick. Chesnick, though, was anticipating Davis going to the hole, and she wasn't prepared for that pass out of bounds. Bishop Kenrick brings the ball back up court with 5:47 left to go in the third quarter. The Knights ahead, 24-17. DeLuzio. Goes inside to Dollarton. That time nobody went for it, and a nice save that time by number 42, Missy Mel. And there's a foul inside called against Norristown. Cassie Davis stating that it was all ball, I believe, to use her words, but the officials seem to disagree with her on that fact.
Well, the players always have a different viewpoint.
The spice of life. Variety is the spice of life, or something like that.
Cliche.
Boy,
One.
that's out of the books.
I'll tell you, and you're really stooping pretty low for that one.
Deluzio misses the first free throw attempt.
Dana adding her 7th point of the evening.
Knocks down the second one.
I believe she averaged just a little over 9 points a game last year when she was a
We had
member
a
of
steal on the
Norristown.
inbounds pass and 2 points for Curry Nawadi. Now what happened there? Okay, we've got a timeout. Very interesting situation. We're going to have a discussion with the officials. Apparently they said the ball had been brought in. Kenrick just picked the ball up, and now Stan Johnson, a conference at midcourt. I think we're going to have 2 points come off the scoreboard. The officials missed that. And Coach Stan Johnson pulling his girls away from the officials. It's an official discussion.
No need to pick up a technical when you're already trailing by 6 points here.
Yeah, I think we're going to knock 2 points off the score.
The ball was loose. Norristown never really took control of the ball to initiate the inbound. Kenrick alertly came up with the easy bucket, but the other official had a much better viewpoint of that one. And Kathy Panos turns it over there.
You know what that was? They added 2 points to Norristown High. They gave the bucket to Norristown. They didn't take 2 away from Kenrick. They gave Norristown a bucket. No, I don't understand. All right, maybe they didn't. Maybe the score is the same. All right, the score is the same. It's 25-17. Okay. I saw the score change up there, but apparently they had just taken 2 away from Norristown for some reason. Okay, the scoreboard's right. There was no basket that time.
And we were right on the initial call.
We were right on the initial call. It was no basket. So Bishop Kenrick with control right now. The score, 25-17. Kenrick ahead with 4:45 left to go in the third quarter. Okay, that was confusing for us, and because we don't have the official discussion.
Hold on. You mean CBS chalkboard isn't here again?
The truck got tied up on the Schuylkill Expressway, Friday night traffic, and they blew it again. Nice passing that time. Deluzio goes inside. Oh, rolls around well. Go for Dollarton and fights for the rebound. She has 4 Norristown High defenders around her, and they tie the ball up with Dollarton for a jump ball. I'll tell you, that's good one-on-one play that time by Dollarton.
Sharon Davis going up for the Eagles here on the tip. And Jeff, I think this is very important. The Eagles have to get a basket here. There's 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter. They're still down by that same 8-point margin.
Hey, that was a heck of a pass by Cassie Davis. Did you notice that? Behind the back, she whipped it out to Christy Chesnick, and it was right on target. Now, if she'd have made a bad pass there,
she would have been on the bench next to Stan Johnson. She'd be on the bench,
yes. You betcha, my goodness. I'll tell you, that was impressive, though. They come into Chesnick, back outside to Davis, who's handling ball control for the Eagles. I think they got to look to Kathy Panos a little bit more, perhaps. They go inside to Sharon Davis, out of bounds, though, off of Data Deluzio's leg.
That looked like an aborted alley-oop attempt that time.
I don't know what Sharon Davis would have done with it. She had her back to the basket. Nice steal on the inbounds pass by Nawadi, but Jill Spielhofer steals it right back. Spielhofer needs help. She's got Chesnick, and Chesnick pops it back outside to Cassie Davis. I think what that indicated was that Stan Johnson said, set up. Because Chesnick thought about it, said, okay, I don't have anything. She gets the ball knocked away, gives it away. Nawadi stops. Oh, what a play by Curry Nawadi. Can't get the basket to go. Dollarton on the turnaround. She's fouled on the shot. Basket is not good, but she'll go to the free throw line. Nawadi really, stopped on a dime there to get that shot up in the, get that shot up in the air. She had that pass from the right side that was really whipped down there.
And Cassie Davis taking a seat on the bench here. Cassie's had some problems running the point for Norristown so far in this ball game. And once again, Tracy Keaton checking back in. And she really gave the Eagles a spark early in the game when she made her first appearance. And I guess Coach Stan Johnson looking for little better play there from the point position.
And Trish Dollarton adds another point to the Bishop Kenrick advantage. Make the score 26-17 with 3:31 to play in the third.
That was Trish's first point of the evening, and the crowd starting to shuffle on in here as they get it ready for the evening.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the crowd is really picking up.
And vocal, too.
Those were the cheerleaders banging on the stands. I think that's what that was. Dollarton misses that shot. Rebound by Christy Chesney. She goes to Tracy Keaton. Keaton for the Lady Eagles. Spielhofer knocked down, and that time I think Keaton was looking at Jill Spielhofer lying on the ground and forgot about dribbling. Traveling call on Tracy Keaton, comes back the other way for Bishop Kenrick.
Well, I think Tracy had intended to go to Jill. However, when she found Jill on the ground already, it was like, well, what do I do now with the ball?
Sue Quinn looks cross court at DeLuzio. Nice pass. DeLuzio takes the shot. I think she took one dribble too many that time. She tried to come in closer to the net. If she'd have put the ball up right away, she'd have had the open shot. But she does draw the foul, so she'll go to the line and shoot.
You're right.
Two.
She was wide open that time because Sharon Davis had tried to go for the steal. Dana caught the ball immediately, quick first step, and she should have popped right then instead of taking an extra dribble, as you pointed out. And Cassie Davis is going to be checking back in here for Norristown.
But DeLuzio trying to make up with it by knocking down a pair of free throws. You cut me off there.
But that was her 8th point.
Fine, but let me finish my sentence, would you?
I'm sorry. Christy Chesnick going to the bench now as Davis comes back in.
Thank you, Al. Thank you. And DeLuzio makes both. So it's an 11-point Bishop Kenrick advantage. That's their biggest lead of the ball game, 28-17.
And just 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
It's hard for me to conceive of a Norristown High squad that only has 17 points in the third quarter. That time Davis takes that pass. They roll around underneath and they rip it away. It's Missy Mell finally going to have a foul called on Kathy Panos. That time it just seemed like they were, somebody had to have a foul called on them because they were ripping the ball around down there on the ground. Jill Spielhofer was trying to take it away. Missy Mell finally came up with it for the Knights. So Dana DeLuzio and Curry Nawadney, your guards right now for Bishop Kenrick. I guess you really call it a 3-guard offense and 2 forwards. You really don't have a center on these ball clubs. Sue Quinn looking for some help. And DeLuzio comes back to confer with Coach Paul Makowski. She's got 5 seconds to get the ball inside. There she goes. The official started to count those 5 seconds off. You've got to bring the ball past that white hash mark, which is a little bit further out on the court. It's about 2/3 of the way up the court, just beyond the top of the key. You must bring that ball inside that white hash mark once every 5 seconds, I believe it is.
Well, you're seeing the good old stall game here.
Why not? You're ahead by 11 points. I'd stall too. In a girls' basketball game? Definitely. That's the right strategy. It's not too exciting, but it's the right strategy. Oh, shot that time by Missy Mell. Won't go. Foul on the play. It's going to be called on Sue Quinn. Over top on
No, it's going to be called the other way. It's going to be on Kathy Panos.
Oh, I don't know about that call.
Yeah, it was definitely, she accidental elbow that time down low as Sue Quinn was pulling out.
I was looking at the over-the-top penalty that time.
And I believe, yes, it is going to be a shooting foul, so Sue Quinn will be going to the line.
It should be a 1-and-1 situation. And
right, the bonus is in effect for both clubs right now. I just contradicted what you said, but I think I'm right.
That's right.
Well, I could be wrong.
Well, anyway.
Never trust the scoreboard, I'll tell you that much, Jeff.
Sue Quinn misses that first free throw, and they fight for the rebound in Norristown High with possession. 1:33 left to go in the third quarter. Bishop Kenrick ahead in this ball game, 28-17. Ball stolen away once again by Bishop Kenrick. Nawandi, oh, nice bounce pass, but too much traffic there, and Sharon Davis bats the ball away.
And Cassie Davis has to be a little more patient down on the offensive side. She's trying to rush things and force the ball inside, and you're not going to get any offensive production if your point guard is doing that.
Quinn puts the shot up. Boom! Basket's good. That's a nice shot by Sue Quinn from the baseline. Your baseline jumper, one of your most difficult shots. It's a tough perspective on the basket.
And Sue Quinn and Dana DeLuzio each with 9 points here, and Carrie Nawadney with 7.
Jumper that time for Norristown High. The basket's good. Make it 30-19. We've got less than a minute left to go in the third quarter. Bishop Kenrick's going to play for the last shot. They're ahead by 11 once again, 30-19. Coach Makovsky wants him to bring the ball outside again. 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Norristown High zone defense not getting the ball away here. 13 seconds. Yep. Double dribble that time. Sue Quinn not using her head there. Put the ball on the ground and then tried to pick it up again. We're going to have a substitution. Dollarton comes out of the ball game. Meg Losty enters the ball game.
I'll tell you, the Eagles could use a basket here and be a great momentum builder if they could cut the lead to 9 entering the final stanza.
You've got 5 seconds left to go. They got to get a shot up. 4-3. Oh, jeez. 18-foot jumper, no good. And after 3 quarters of play, Bishop Kenrick adds one more field goal to their advantage. The score, 30-19 after 3 quarters of play. I'll tell you, Norristown's not doing it, Al. You know, we mentioned several possibilities. First, you've got to give credit to Bishop Kenrick for hustling. I think the fact that it's Norristown's first ball game, they're an inexperienced ball club. They're not a particularly fast ball club. They're not a particularly large ball club. So you don't have a whole lot going for you except good fundamental basketball, and they haven't been able to execute. And I think that lack of cohesiveness has to do with the fact that they're so early in the season. And Bishop Kenrick does have the advantage of having played 5 games already. As we mentioned earlier in the ball game, Bishop Kenrick's record 5-2 coming into this ball game. Pardon me, I'm sorry, 3-2 coming into this ball game. So it's going to take quite an effort by Norristown High to come back in this ball game with only 8 minutes to play.
You know, and I believe Kenrick only won two games all last season, so they've already topped that mark, and this is a big win for them because now they're going to be entering the tough Catholic League play. Norristown, meanwhile, still a non-league game, but you know, Suburban 1 League play is a week away. They obviously have a lot of work to do this fourth quarter. They could lay some groundwork here. I think you're going to have to see a Norristown club come out here, one, still try to work on its outside shooting, and secondly, they've got to tighten the screws on the defensive end of the floor.
He looks real happy.
Let's see, for Norristown, we have Christy Chesnick, number 10, Kim Mitchell, number 20, number 33, Sharon Davis, number 22, Cassie Davis, and number 31, Kathy Panos. And we'll give you Kenrick here in a moment. Number 15, Carrie Nawadney, number 25, Dana DeLuzio, and we'll give you the rest in just a moment. Cassie Davis called for, I thought it was going to be a traveling violation, but the foul was called ahead of time. Foul whistled on number 23. That is Sue Quinn, also out there for the Knights. Number 41, Trish Dallerton, and let's see, I know I missed one player here, Jeff Brandon.
And I wasn't listening to you, so,
Number 42 is the one, Missy Mel. And Cassie Davis going to the line. Little too hard of a touch that time. 30-19, Eagles trailing here in the fourth quarter. Opening seconds, Dana DeLuzio bringing the ball down court for the Knights. Norristown, surprisingly, still dropping back into 2-3 zone. I thought maybe they'd come out a little man-to-man pressure here. They've got an 11-point deficit to overcome, and they've got to do it quickly. And generally, your good defensive play is going to create some opportunities for you on the offensive end, especially on the getting your running game going. And they've got to come out here because you can see Kenrick's strategy. They're just going to pass the ball around. They're going to stall it, kill some time on the clock. And here comes Norristown pressuring now. The guards are chasing. I'm want to tell you, with Quinn, DeLuzio, and Nawadney back there, they can do this for the rest of the fourth quarter with no problem. Norristown almost coming up with the steal. 42, Missy Mel has it now. She gets back to Nawadney. Nawadney looking to bring the ball back outside. Kathy Panos right on her. They swing it over into the corner now to DeLuzio, and you can hear the crowd really getting into it. Sue Quinn wide open. She misses the bucket, but Christy Chesnick whistled for the foul. And there's your whole idea of playing your pseudo four corners. You wait till you find the open person in the lane, you dump it through.
Yeah, I like the play by Bishop Kenrick, but it was tough to see the foul from our angle. And to tell you the truth, our angle was the exact same angle the official had. And I thought her angle was bad on calling that pushing foul. She really couldn't tell.
Chesnick didn't get all ball that time. There was a little contact down there, and I can see why the foul was on her.
Okay.
And we've got a timeout being called here. 6:36 left to go in the game, 30-19. Eagles trail by 11.
I'll tell you, that was a big time killer. Knocked off more than a minute on the clock that last time. The ball control for Bishop Kenrick.
Funny about girls basketball, it seems to go in cycles. You know, this year Kenrick apparently going to field one of its better teams. The Eagles the last few years have been in a downtrend after having such great success in the mid-70s, early 80s, and it seems that way for all the local teams. Right now PW is probably your top squad around, since they're returning all their starters from last season, and they're a very senior-oriented squad. Upper Marion's coming back after a couple of low years, yet at one time it was Norristown, Upper Marion, and Abington were the perennial powerhouses on the women's side. But I think Eagles will be hurt this year, as you pointed out earlier, because they don't have that one key player, it seems, that they can go to in the clutch. There's no Thea Ellis, there's no Michelle Washington.
Mary Hall.
Right.
I'll tell you, think back to that 1976 squad. State champions.
Let's see, Lisa and Sandra Ortlip were on it. Jenny Hall, of course, who went on to have a fine career in Rutgers University. I think she's playing overseas. I don't know if she's there any longer.
I'll tell you, it makes you
Wandy
think.
Hadrick, I believe, was there.
You go from a high school program that wins the state championship, and of course it's been 9 years now, but they've got 19 points on the board, and we're into the fourth quarter. That's an incredibly low offensive output for Norristown High.
Dee Fichter. I just wanted to point out that that was the other name. I knew there was one other key player from that squad that I could remember. And
I think two of those ladies have been inducted into the Hall of Champions at Norristown High. I know Dee Fichter has. I'm not certain if Jenny Hall has been or not. I believe Sandra Ortlip was inducted. I think that's the other. I'm not sure. I'm bantering about names here, and I know Dee Fichter, but I'm not sure if anyone else was.
Well, they all certainly deserve to be there eventually, because that is the only women's club to ever get that far, and they won it.
And no points. We've gone almost 2 minutes without a score here in the fourth quarter.
That time Davis missing both of her free throw attempts, and that'll kill you.
Oh, nice play by Nawadney. Drives the lane, had that opening, just couldn't get the layup. She's got pursuit from behind.
I think Carrie was kind of surprised. She looked down and no one was in the paint.
Now, you know, that's nice if it goes in, but that's a poor shot. What's that underhand with the spin off the board? That's not a high percentage shot.
Okay, we're going to have another jump ball here. Christy Chesnick and Dana DeLuzio going up. And Christy wins it. It goes right to Sharon Davis. Cassie Davis driving through the lane. She's foul whistled on Bishop Kenrick. Foul being called on, I believe it is number 24. That's it. Number 24, Dorothy O'Malley. .44 left here, 30-19, and we're still waiting for the first points of this fourth quarter. We could be waiting a long time.
I tell you, it's not been one of the most rip-roaring, exciting ball games I've ever seen. And of course, we'd like to take every opportunity to mention that the Triangle Club basketball tournament will occur over the Christmas holidays. Of course, that's boys basketball. Norristown High, every year the host, the Montgomery County Triangle Tournament, and I'm sure Bill Workheiser will be able to give us some more information about that as you're watching boys basketball game throughout this this holiday season up towards the Christmas and New Year's week. Listen for details. I'm sure you'll want to come out and watch those ball games. And I think we had our first point.
30-20 as Cassie Davis gets the first point here in this quarter.
Oh!
Dana DeLuzio
that
gets
hurt.
a hard spill that time. Hope she's okay. Thinks he's just a little shaken up that time.
Well, that's got to hurt your knees. I mean, at least that artificial surface wasn't as tough as hardwood when you fall on it. I think that's one advantage. That's got to at least scrape you up if it doesn't bruise you.
I'll tell you, Dana's out there. She gives 100% all the time, both ends of the floor.
I'm very impressed.
This whole Kenrick club really gives 100% effort, all out. And that's what's going to win it, because you're not going to find that many female athletes who can come out here and hit the nothing but net shots from 20 feet out. They've got to rely on the hustle at both ends in order to produce the points. And this is the one sport where the size isn't really going to make that much of a difference in the girls basketball, although it will help. It's usually the speed and the hustle.
Look at Curry Nawadney. She can't be 5'4". Looking at her standing out there. You know, that's...
But you can see what a spark plug she is.
Exactly, but she's quick, and she understands the ball game. You know, she's a smart ball player, and I've been very impressed with her play throughout this ball game. I think she's obviously the key. I think Sue Quinn's a good ball player, and Dana DeLuzio a very good ball player, but I think Nawadney really is the key.
I'm really glad to see Kenrick having a resurgence with their girls basketball program. For quite a few years they were just getting pounded there, and it's really a shame to see, especially when you had a program, Norristown, of course being the public school in the same area, that had been so successful, and you hate to see the other school just be down.
Well, see, that's what you used to see all the time in these Norristown High Bishop Kenrick girls basketball games. Norristown would win by 30, 40 points.
Oh, it was over.
You know, it'd be an embarrassment for the Kenrick girls, and I think this is a vindication for the last 10 years of beatings that they've taken at the hands of Norristown High School. They've got to feel real good about this.
You know what they say about payback.
Yeah, paybacks are tough.
Yeah. I think that's kind of paraphrasing it, but that's the safe way to say it. 30-20 as, see who's shooting the free throws here.
Substitution, that's number 12. Karen Zajic.
And Karen gets her first.
Norristown Eagle looking over our shoulder.
Always a critic around, I'll tell you. 31-20 as Zajic only hits 1 of 2.
But doesn't everybody look over our shoulder? I'm sitting down here courtside.
Well, they gave us the good seats in the house this year at least, right? Nice outside jumper that time by Kathy Panos, and she is the leading scorer for Norristown with 10 points. 31-22, 5-12 left to go in the game, and Kenrick calling a timeout quickly. Coach saying, hey, there's nothing you can do when they decide to pop an 18-footer.
I'll tell you, Paul Makovsky is really, I mean, he's your typical enthusiastic coach. You look at him, the disheveled hair, you know, he's got the tie off, the jacket off, he's out there screaming. You know, he's ahead by figure it out, Jeff, 9 points, 31-22. Yeah, but he's out there and he's aggressive. He's really, he looks like your girls basketball coach.
But he has a perfect complement in his assistant coach Joe Matazzo, who's just very cool, very dapperly dressed there, just very laid back. Nice. You need that, I think, for a club.
Yeah, Joe.
When you have two coaches that are the hyperactive type, I think it works against you at times.
Yeah, well, I think on the Norristown bench. With Stan Johnson. Stan Johnson's usually the vocal one. Yeah. He's been quite subdued tonight. I'm a little surprised. Stan's usually letting them know that he's there.
Well, this is the first game of the season. I am sure that before the year is over, the officials will be well acquainted with Stan Johnson's tones. He has a habit of bellowing out a few words. And those cheers were not for Jeff or myself. I don't know who they were for.
It certainly wasn't for us.
Sue Quinn off the glass that time. Nice bucket there by Sue Quinn, number 23. She has 11 points. She is the top scorer for the Knights. Bishop Kenrick really relying on the scoring of 3 players. Carrie Nawadney, who has 7, Sue Quinn, of course, with 11, and Dana DeLuzio with 9 in this contest.
That time, Kathy Panos with the air ball.
And we have a whistle up in the right corner. Let's see what the call is going to be here.
Well, I wish we knew what the heck was going on.
Well, I think what you're going to have is a technical foul here.
Oh, okay. And shooting it for Norristown, number 20, Kim Mitchell.
Norristown will retain possession of the ball, whether she hits it or misses it. Well, she has a second one coming up here. Dana DeLuzio alertly telling her teammates to get back on defense. I think some of them forgot that technical's called. The team that's shooting it retains possession.
That time, Carrie Nawadney called for reaching in. No, she wasn't called for the time. No, reaching in.
33-23, 4:38 left to go here. Cassie Davis at the free throw line, or the charity stripe, as you will.
And Cassie Davis, for all the running around she's been doing tonight, has only 3 points on the board.
And I believe that was Kim Mitchell following up there with the rebound and popping it through. So it's now 33-26. Cassie Davis coming up with the steal. In for the layup, kisses it off the glass, and suddenly it's a 5-point game, 33-28, 4:19. So let's see, maybe Norristown still has a shot on this one. You never can write them off. And here comes Kenrick, slowing things down, taking some time now.
5 seconds they call against Carrie Nawadney.
Carrie Nawadney was out there trying to direct traffic that time. The official was right behind her, counting off. She didn't hear him. And they've turned the ball over, and Norristown has a golden opportunity if they can convert.
They can cut the Bishop Kenrick lead to 3. They haven't been this close since the beginning of the first quarter.
And there we're going to have a foul called on Carrie Nawadney, who was going for the steal that time, as Christy Chesnick comes up with it, and she's also being sent to the line.
And all of a sudden, the Norristown high side is really, the fans have come alive, the cheerleaders, and you can sort of feel that the little bit of electricity, what had been a very, very boring ball game, a very tentative ball game, has suddenly become exciting.
And let's see now if Norristown has what it takes to get over the hump, and whether or not Kenrick has the patience to stay with it. 33-29 now. It's easy to play when you have a 10 or 12 point lead, but boy, when it's cut to 2 or 3, you've got problems. Christy Chesnick, big free throw here. Oh, and it bounces out. 33-29, 3:58 left to go here. Missy Mel bringing it up court, going right to the hoop. Her shot is blocked by Kathy Panos. And it is a clean block.
My goodness, what a block. I'm telling you, Kathy Panos got all ball. What a play. Missy Mel went up for that shot. Kathy Panos said, Oh, what a great block, and no foul.
There was no foul. I heard a whistle,
We saw that one
though.
clearly. There was no foul. And Norristown, no, Dana DeLuzio with some great hustle takes that ball away. That could have been crucial.
Dana DeLuzio driving through. Off-balance jumper. Dana DeLuzio nails it. What a play by Dana. 11 points now.
Wow, if she misses that shot, it's a different ball game. Kenrick once again now with a more comfortable lead. Another steal by Dana DeLuzio. This time she can't keep control. But what a turnaround. Banks the shot off the glass. That's a heck of a shot. And she suddenly got 11 points in this game. She and Sue Quinn, the high scorers for Kenrick.
That is your stereotypical clutch basket. She wanted the ball. She turned around. She got it. Christy Chesnick missing her shot. Sharon Davis and Missy Mel fighting for the rebound. They're going to go up for the jump now. 35-29, 3:24 left to go in this game. Eagles win the tap. Cassie Davis comes up with it. Shovel pass over to the, let's see, it was over to Kim Mitchell. Ball's on the ground. We're going to have another jump.
That was a heck of a tap by Sharon Davis right to Cassie. I think Cassie might have been able to put that ball up there. And I think they're saying that Kim Mitchell... No, I think they're calling against Bishop Kenrick.
Is that what it is?
Penetration of the circle before the tap was made.
Okay.
Davis, no.
Air ball right in the hands of Dana DeLuzio.
No, that's not the shot.
And Dana DeLuzio called for traveling that time. Dana saw Carrie Nowotny open on the right-hand side. She was trying to slow down, hit the bounce pass, but she couldn't put the brakes on quickly enough.
I'll tell you what, if Cassie Davis puts up another 18-foot jumper, she ought to be out of the ball game. That's not the shot.
No. Well, believe me, Stan Johnson and Bill Werkeyes are on the sidelines telling Cassie Davis that exact thing. Eagles have time on their sides. They're down here by 6, but they do have 3 minutes left. They just can't rush and put up 20-footers. Christy Chesnick trying to go inside now to Mitchell. 3 seconds, definitely. Not called, though. Cassie Davis coming up with it as the ball was loose. They go down low to Panos, and it goes out of bounds.
That time, I might have liked to have seen a shot. She was wide open for the shot from the free throw line. Now, I don't want to get on Cassie Davis's back. You know, it's not her loss or anything like that if the Eagles should happen to lose today. I just think you've got to get some calm heads out there.
Sue Quinn trying to go inside now to Dowerton. It's knocked out of bounds by Panos.
It was a nice play by Sharon Davis to get her hands on that ball initially.
Nowotny inbounding it. They get it over to Sue Quinn once again. Sue Quinn decides to go up for the jumper. It falls off the rim. Coming down with the rebound, Sharon Davis, and Cassie Davis will be bringing it down the floor. 2.5 left to go. It's 35-29. Cassie Davis loses it momentarily. Has Panos open on the left side. She has Sharon Davis open in the left corner now. Davis swinging it back out. Dangerous pass. They try to go inside to Chesnick. Davis there, though, to retrieve it. Cassie Davis pops from outside, off the side of the rim. Sharon Davis pulling down the lucky rebound that time. Turnaround by Sharon Davis. Air ball off the glass this time. Dana DeLuzio coming up with it. Dana DeLuzio in the corner, bringing it up for Kenrick. And Jeff, you have to wonder about the Norristown shot selection. No patience whatsoever.
And Paul Makovsky just yelled for the 4 corners from the sideline. He wants his girls to run the clock out. They've got a 6-point lead. Norristown has blown the opportunities.
And Tracy Keaton and Jill Spielhofer are both waiting to get into this ball game. And Norristown, Cassie Davis knocks the ball loose. We're going to have a jump ball as it rolls into the hands of Kim Mitchell. And immediately Dowerton tries to tie her up there and succeeds. So out of the game goes Sharon Davis. I think we have 6 players in here. Yes, we do. Christy Chesnick going out now, and now we have a timeout being taken by Bishop Kenrick.
Stan Johnson almost lost his voice box there yelling for a time because he had 6 players on the floor.
I tell you, I know Stan wants to get back into this game, but 6 players is overdoing it.
So is that like pulling your goalie?
That's it exactly. You got the free shooter. 35-29, a minute 40 left to go. Kenrick up by 6. This, of course, just one of many Norristown Eagle basketball games you're going to be catching here on your Norristown Cablevision channel, so make sure you watch your public access channel. You'll see the upcoming schedule of events. We always air programs on Monday and Wednesdays. And, of course, you also see the full schedule for both teams. Never mind. Just shows you what 4 5 speed will get there.
Yeah. I'd kill for that. Probably picking this.
He'd kill you.
Well, it's 6 points with 1:40 to go. Norristown still got a chance. I didn't think they had a chance 5 minutes ago.
But they ran off 5 straight points to pull within 3 at one point. However, it's been all Kenrick since then.
And they've proceeded to blow some golden opportunities. What's going on here?
I'm not sure exactly who they want in or out of the ball game. Jill Spielhofer was in there, but she had, it was supposed to be Kim Mitchell that was coming back in. Kim Mitchell was the one going for the jump, that's why. And Panos coming up with the ball, looking for someone to give her some help. 3 Kenrick defenders there. Someone has to come back. And finally, Panos draws the foul. Whistle being blown on number 41, Trish Dowerton. And that was a breakdown on Norristown that time. When you see your teammate in trouble, you've got to come back and try to help him out.
Well, that's right. Everybody flew down court that time, and Norristown lucky to get the break. Trish Dowerton with a bad foul, pressuring Kathy Panos on the play. Panos had nowhere to go. They should have just waited for the call.
So we go to the other end, and Kathy Panos is going to be going to the line. Kathy already with 10 points. She's the leading scorer for the Eagles tonight. Game honors right now being shared by Dana DeLuzio and Sue Quinn. They each have 11 from Nick Bishop Kenrick.
And Norristown with some really important free throws here. Panos has got to make that one, and she does. And 11 points for Kathy Panos in this ball game, and she's been I think the one bright spot for Norristown High tonight.
Minute 32 left to go in this game. Eagles down 35-30. Make it 35-31 as it bounces through. Norristown down by 4 and plenty of time left here. Carrying to Wadney, driving up now on the near sideline. Out to Dana DeLuzio, immediately holds the ball. If you're a Kenrick fan, they can ill afford a mistake here. Good ball handling and necessity now at this stage in the game. Minute 13 left to go, and they're going to try to stall. Cassie Davis trying to go for the steal. Knocks it away. Carrying to Wadney, goes back over, and they're calling it, and she went into the backcourt. I think that was a bad call.
Yeah, that ball was tapped into the backcourt. Carrie Nawadi got a raw deal there. I thought maybe her foot might have been across the line when she picked the ball up. I don't really think so. Oh!
And Kathy Panos nails it. We've got a 2-point barn burner here, 35-31, 57 seconds left to go in the game. And now Nawadi driving to the hoop. She is fouled in the process by Kathy Panos. Good play by Nawadi that time. She saw she had an opening. She realized if she drove in there, she'd either get the basket or she'd draw the foul, and she was successful in the latter.
And time-wise, you know, we've come to the point where the Norristown boys game is supposed to be beginning. We've got a packed house, and all these folks are seeing an exciting conclusion to a girls' basketball game that was quite boring for the first 3 quarters.
They have no idea that the Eagles trailed by 11 points early in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, this is a heck of a ball game. Big play here. Kerry Nawadi needs to make these points.
Clutch free throw that time.
And I'll tell you, there's a lot of noise in this gym. This is a lot of pressure for that young lady.
And that is something that these women are not used to playing in front of. Nawadi misses her second one. Keaton in there fighting for the rebound, and they're going to call a jump. So it's going to be Keaton going up against Dowards, and definitely with the height advantage. Keaton wins the tap, though, right in the hands of Nawadi. 46 seconds left to go. It's 36-33 and a timeout taken.
Well, what do you think, Al? It's a 3-point game. We've got 45 seconds to go. Norristown obviously is going to pressure the ball man-to-man on the coverage. They want to stop Bishop Kenrick from using the pass to run out the clock. Who do you think they have to foul, if it's anybody, if it comes down to that?
Well, if I could get...
I wouldn't foul Dana DeLuzio.
Well, now here's the problem. Kenrick with their stall game, they let the 3 guards handle it. DeLuzio, well, we should say 3 guards. There's probably a forward thrown in. But DeLuzio, Nawadi, and Quinn, they're also the top 3 scorers for Kenrick, and they've shown on the line tonight they're very good. So it's going to be tough trying to foul someone who doesn't, that you want to have at the line.
You want to foul either Trish Dollarton or maybe Missy Mel, but those girls aren't going to get the ball in this situation for the most part.
But I think Norristown, you're looking at the clock, and I'm sure in the sidelines right now, you've got 45 seconds left, and Johnson and Werkheiser are both saying to the girls, look, if it gets down around the 30-point, you haven't pressured, you haven't come up with the steal, you're going to have to send them to the line and take your chances, because you still have to get 2 buckets to come back and win this game. And let's not forget how important it is to get this inbound pass here. Let's see, triggerman's going to be Sue Quinn, I believe. Yes, it is. This is going to be Sue Quinn, number 23 for the Knights. Cassie Davis jumping right there in front of her. Quinn getting pressure, gets it right to Dana DeLuzio, who's immediately triple team. Carrying to Wadney wide open. Now she swings it back out. And here that comes the 4 corners, folks. You've got 35 seconds left to go in this game. Norristown trailing by 3, 36-30. Now 30 seconds left on the clock, and there goes the foul. Foul being caught on Tracy Keaton. As we suspected, once the clock hit 30, you almost have to force yourself to commit the foul and send someone to the line and take your chances.
That time, I know the pressure was great out here towards the midcourt line, but Missy Mel was wide open on the near baseline, and Stan Johnson was pointing at his girls to get back in cover, but nobody saw him. And Norristown lucky that Kenrick didn't get an easy basket out of it. Oh.
And the Wadney nails it.
I'll tell you, this young lady is really taking the air out of Norristown's bubble with some clutch free throws.
She's hit 2 of her last 3 here down the stretch. 3 for 4, and Norristown now trails 38-33, 29 seconds left to go. And Jill Spielhofer wide open, but Keaton doesn't see her. Keaton drives right into Dowerton, loses the ball. At the other end, Dana DeLuzio high off the glass. However, the rebound by Kenrick. Dowerton going up for it. A lot of banging underneath there, something you usually see in the guys' games, but these girls are really going at it, and Dowerton going to the line as the foul is on Norristown. 15 seconds left.
And now time is not on Norristown's side. I think this game's a little bit out of reach right now. That last exchange, I think, did the Eagles in.
Well, you know, it was a typical cliche. It was too little, too late. Norristown put on a very impressive drive here in the fourth quarter with about 4.5 minutes to go. However, you can't wait all ball game and wait till there's 4.5 left in the contest to really get it going.
And Dowerton knocks down the first one, so making a 6-point advantage, and I think that just about seals the victory for Bishop Kenrick. Foul called on Trish Dowerton down low. They went to tie that ball up. I thought we were going to have our 25th jump ball, but it didn't happen that time. That time they called a foul. So 13 seconds to go. And Kathy Panos trying to get her team fired up a little bit.
Meg Losty checking back into the game now for Bishop Kenrick as Dowerton takes a seat on the bench. It'll be Nawadney, DeLuzio, Losty, Mel, and Quinn out there on the floor. Jill Spielhofer at the line. Spielhofer just one bucket in this game, came in the third quarter. And Kenrick coming up with the rebound. 12 seconds left to go. And Kenrick called for traveling.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, especially when you're down on the floor and there's two Norristown defenders on top of you.
Very interesting. Kathy Panos, final shot of the ball game. Kathy Panos now has 16 points. 3, 2, 1. With 1 second to go, we're going to go to the line, and Bishop Kenrick's going to seal their victory away. The score 39-35.
No reflection on the officials, but I've always hated that. 5 seconds left. The game is wrapped up, and we call the...
It's taken us 3 minutes to play the last 15 seconds. But the girls are being aggressive. I guess if the call's there, you make it. So Kerry Nawadney will finish out this ball game. Makes the first one, so make it an even 40 for the Knights. And Kerry Nawadney's 11th point of the ball game. And time runs out. Final score, folks, 40-35. Al and I will be back in just a moment.
You're hearing in the background Norristown Eagles men's team taking the floor. End of the girls game. Bishop Kenrick 40, Norristown Eagles 35. Jeff, we saw really two different ball games here. Until about 5 minutes left to go in the contest, it was all Bishop Kenrick. Norristown had a horrible time getting their outside shooting going tonight. Defensively, they had their problems. However, all of a sudden, they scored 5 quick points. They cut the Kenrick lead to 3 with about 3 minutes left to go. But as we said late in the game, it was just too little, too late for the Norristown Eagles this evening.
Well, it really made it fascinating for the fourth quarter of play. As you said, Al, Norristown just not in this ball game in the first half of play. And I was absolutely unimpressed, except for Kathy Panos. And I thought Kathy Panos, she finished the ball game with 16 points. I thought she had a great ball game for Norristown High, and I think she's the person I might want to key on later on in this season.
Well, and I think the big thing that showed here tonight, Bishop Kenrick coming into this game, this was game number 6 for them. They are now 4-2 on this young season, and definitely basketball, more than any other sport, I think, is a sport that relies on the chemistry of the players. And you have to know what's going to happen out there. You have to anticipate your teammates' moves. That's what the Bishop Kenrick Knights did here tonight, and that's something Norristown's going to have to work on. Cassie Davis, a very, very poor night, running the point for the Eagles team. She has to really steady herself and get control of the Eagles offense if they're going to do anything this season. And meanwhile, we saw on the other side of the coin, we saw Kenrick, where Carrie Nawadney, Dana DeLuzio did a fine job running their offense this evening.
I agree. Those girls played a fine ball game. I think Dana DeLuzio especially finishing up the ball game with 11 points. Let's run down the scoring and tell you how balanced the attack was for Bishop Kenrick. Dana DeLuzio with 11, Sue Quinn with 11, and Kerry Nawadney with 11, all in the backcourt for Bishop Kenrick, basically. Karen Zajic, 1 point in the ball game, Dorothy O'Malley, 2, Trish Dollarton, 2, and Missy Mel, 2. But all the points really from the guard position, from those small, quick, aggressive players.
And the best ball handlers on Kenrick also produced the most points this evening.
Okay, for Norristown High, Kathy Panos with 16 points, Cassie Davis with 5, Jill Spielhofer just 2, Kim Mitchell 5, and Christy Chesnick 5. Okay, it was an interesting ball game. Norristown High's got a long season ahead of them. A very impressive win for the Bishop Kenrick Lady Knights. They raised their record to 4-2, and I think Stan Johnson and Bill Werkheiser have an interesting season cut out for them.
They have their work ahead of them, that's for sure. Make sure you watch your Norristown cable channel and watch for news of future Norristown Eagles telecast, and also you'll see when the next games are coming up for both the girls and the men's squad. For Jeff Randon, I'm Alan Raleigh. Final score here tonight at Norristown's Gymnasium. It was Bishop Kenrick 40, the Norristown Eagles 35.